Yo, good morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time you're tuning into this broadcast. Issues, Coach Ish, whatever you want to call me. Back with another video. Let's talk about my favorite subject, which is hip hop or rap music, however you want to call it. Here we go. So, what are we talking about? Drake versus Kendrick, of course. Um, Biggest battle in history so far. Not the most uh, monumental. That's still Biggie and Pac because of the carnage and the unfortunate lives that were lost. The lives that were lost, unfortunately. Um, but I've never seen two artists go at it in this short period of time with so many songs back and forth. So I'm loving it. I'm entertained by it. I'm loving it. I appreciate it. But at the same time, let me just start by saying this. I'm not a fan of either one of them, to be honest with you. I appreciate their music. I think both of them make good music. Um, you know, I'm when I say I'm not a fan of either one of them, it's not me hating on either one of them. I'm really not a fan of nobody. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't look at these rappers and stuff like that the same as everybody else do. I'm not. You know, I've been around a lot of different artists, so I don't look at these dudes as fans. Yeah, especially since I'm an MC myself. I'm a spitter myself, and the battle culture and battle rap and all that kind of stuff. So I say all that to say, respectfully speaking, yeah, I mean, I feel like I give all of them the business when it comes to this rap shit. But so, so for me, I don't have no skin in the game. I put it like that. You know what I mean? I don't have no skin in the game. I'm just looking at it objectively. So, in looking at it objectively, let me break it down. First of all, first of all, if you ask me which one I like better, I'm gonna tell you Kendrick Lamar. I have more Kendrick Lamar music in my playlist than I have Drake. I'm not a big Drake fan. I'm not real big Kendrick fan. I like Kendrick music. Something about the way his voice and the way he rhymes to me. That's just me personally. You know what I'm saying? Um, but Drake, his whole everything, I just don't rock with. You know what I mean? Um, but with that being said, I got Drake winning this battle. I got Drake winning this battle by a wide margin. See, I've been talking about this for a while. And every time people talk to me about it, or I talk to people about it, whatever, it forces me to go back and listen to it more. So I just now finished listening to all of them, one after the other, and intently listening to all of them, one after the other. And giving my reasons, because I want to break down my reason of why I feel like Drake is winning this battle by a wide margin. First of all, we don't really know who is going to win ultimately because that's that will be later determined. There have been battles between MCs or rappers or whatever. Some of them have ended in knockouts. A knockout is when after the battle is over, the other person cannot continue their career. Their career is over. You know what I'm saying? They stop making music, they stop being relevant, and it literally comes from the battle that happened, such as the 50 Cent and Ja Rule battle. As hard as Ja Rule tried to resurrect his career after that battle with 50, it was done. It was a knockout. Um, you know, when Ice Cube dissed NWA, it was a knockout. You know what I'm saying? NWA wobbled and then, you know, pretty much quit after that. Um, so there's been knockouts, and then there's been like Jay and Nas. You know what I'm saying? Where because of how Nas responded, and then Nas didn't just respond, he kept responding. You know what I'm saying? To the point where Jay just left it alone. You know what I'm saying? So Nas kind of came out the victory on that one, but it was one of those unanimous decision or it was a decision, you know what I'm saying? And in the decision, sometimes, people can still go back and forth about who won it, didn't. You know what I mean? um, KRS with Nelly dissed KRS, and then KRS smashed Nelly with Over Here. You know, Nelly pretty much fell out of relevancy after that. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, we ain't really heard much music from Nelly after that. After KRS once said, "Go to the shows, boo them off stage, tell them KRS told you they at the end of their days." You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you, don't give hip hop a lift, and don't buy Nelly's album on June 25th. That'll send a message to all them sellouts, house nigga rapper. Bottom them fell out. You don't even know how. I told you I wasn't talking about you then, but I'm talking about you now. So that kind of blah blah, one to the knee, blah, one goes right through. Even St. Louis don't like you. You know what I mean? That was a knockout. You know what I'm saying? So this one, you know, it's not over yet because it seems like they keep going. But I'm going to just get my breakdown so far, song for song. So it started out with Like That, Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? Like That was hard. This is just my breakdown from a person who, you know, have been a diss record and battle rap enthusiast ever since The Bridge Is Over and Kill That Noise. And everything since then. You know what I'm saying? I've cataloged, I have a whole playlist of nothing but diss records. You know, of all the diss records, I got a whole playlist with nothing but just all the diss records going all the way back to The Bridge Is Over and Kill That Noise. Okay? Not all of them, but most of them notable ones. You know, everything from Cameron and Mace to, you know, 50 and Benzino to, you know what I'm saying, Ja Rule and 50 to, you know what I'm saying, 50 and Jay and Cameron and, you know what I'm saying? Everything in between. Nas and Jay, you know what I mean? So, you know, Biggie and Nas, ones a lot of people don't know about, Mobb Deep and Tupac, you know what I'm saying? Biggie didn't go at Tupac. Mobb Deep did, though. Mobb Deep went at Tupac, you know what I'm saying? Drop a Gem on him. Drop a Gem on him. That whole song, they going at Tupac. You know what I'm saying? So all of that, right? So giving my expert opinion and also being somebody who, you know, penned the verses and got the bars, I'm gonna give you my breakdown of why I feel like Drake is winning. So the first shot was Like That. Like That is only one verse. The whole song is not about. I can see if everybody in the song is dissing Drake, like Tupac and the Outlaws, like Hit 'Em Up. You know what I'm saying? Hit 'Em Up had Pac on it, but it also had the Outlaws on it, also dissing, Big you know. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like, you know, when State Property jumped into beef with the Locks. You know what I'm saying? And you know, State Property niggas was dropping bars, you know what I'm saying, that people who pretty much Rockefeller had beef with. So I'm gonna touch on that a little bit too with the Drake and Kendrick situation. So you can't say the whole song is about Drake. You can only count one verse. 16-bar verse, time-wise, is probably 1 minute. So 1 minute worth of lethal bars, because the bars in that song is lethal. The beat was hard, the verse was hard. It was hard. You know what I'm saying? So that was the first shot fired, right? So then J. Cole, because in Like That, Kendrick fired at J. Cole and Drake. Okay? So J. Cole responded with a 7+ minute diss track to Kendrick Lamar's 1 minute diss track that was a verse on the song. He fired back with a 7-minute diss track. In that 7 minutes, he switched beats and everything. You know what I'm saying? I like the diss tracks where there's no hook. It's not a song. It's just 10 minutes or whatever, however minutes, it's just destruction. Those are the best diss tracks to me. You know what I'm saying? Where it ain't you ain't trying to make it a hit. You ain't trying to make it, catchy. None of that. It's just bars. I'm just going. So that was 7 minute, 7 minute drill. And I thought 7 minute drill, like I heard Like That, the verse from Like That, I was like, oh, okay. When I heard 7 minute drill, I was like, yo, J. Cole went in. And then J. Cole apologizes. So the way I see it, because honestly, if I'm Kendrick, after you wrote you don't get to write all of that and then apologize. You don't get to smack me in my face and then apologize. He smacked him so hard, he apologized. So honestly, the first L was to J. Cole. Kendrick took an L to J. Cole. Because me in that situation, I'm using the apologize and the response. I'm gonna get petty with it. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. It is what it is. It's all love and it's all fair and love, war, and battle rap. So I'm gonna use your apology and I'm gonna hit you back. And he could have hit him back in a way that Kendrick is kind of unique for, which is like that passive aggressive type of, intellectually I'm dissing you, but I'm kind of, doing something else at the same time. And I'm going to get into that a little bit more too. So he didn't even really have to go hard on him, but he should have at least responded in some way. So, yeah, you apologize, but here, hold this. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. He didn't say nothing. He didn't respond to J. Cole. But J. Cole, regardless of whether he deleted it or not, it's already out. And it's not deleted because I just listened to it on YouTube. So it's not totally deleted. It's still out there. I just listened to it. It's on YouTube. So he open hand smacked the shit out of Kendrick Lamar with that verse, with that song. I mean, he went in. And it was like, it wasn't just him saying stuff. It wasn't just what he was saying. It was how he was saying it. And that's a big part of diss records or battle rap. And I'm going to get into that a little bit more too. So it wasn't just what he was saying. It was how he was saying it. It was stuff that he was saying. Like the way he was putting things was like, Like when you listening to battle rap or diss records, it's not just about, oh, he said this and I believe it. No, it's about how he phrased, how they word things, how they put it. You know what I'm saying? They may say something simple, but the way that they put it, it's like, wow. You know what I'm saying? So J. Cole had a lot of those moments in that 7-minute diss track responding to Kendrick Lamar's 1 minute. So far, Kendrick Lamar only got 1 minute worth of venom at anybody. He split up, he went at Drake and Cole in a 1 minute track on a song. 1 minute verse on a song. J. Cole responded with a 7+ minute joint. That was fire. And I felt like he smacked him so hard that he apologized. You know what I'm saying? Like, you hit somebody, oh, man, my bad. I ain't mean to hit you like that. You know what I'm saying? My bad. I ain't mean to do that. You know what I mean? And I've been in that situation before. So boom, right? So then Drake follows J. Cole and drops Push-Ups. Push-Ups is a 4-minute track. 3 minutes and 54 seconds. It has a hook, but the hook really is more of a bridge. It's not really a hook. It's not like an 8-bar hook. Just, you know what I mean? Like, the hook is short. It gets right back to the point. But it's pretty much 4 minutes of Drake going in. And he's going in. He's going in. Let me say this about this whole thing to begin with. I don't believe neither one of them. To me, I ain't gonna say I don't believe neither one of them. They're both telling a lie and they're both telling the truth. I don't know. I don't know them, so I don't know what their life is. what I'm saying? So I'm not going, a lot of people, when we talking about this battle, get caught up into what they believe. I, I don't know them niggas at all. I don't know them niggas at all. That's that fan stuff. I don't get into the fan stuff. So, whether Drake got a daughter or Kendrick beat his wife, I don't know. But all I can judge is what they say, how they say it, what type of impact it has on me when I listen to it. You know what I'm saying? So, push-ups was hard. Push-ups was hard. The beat was hard. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like super hard. But, on some for Drake, that's the thing about, this is why Drake kind of has all of the advantages in this battle, is because Drake is a cornball. He's a cornball. And when people start hollering about how Drake don't have no authenticity, please cut it out. We're not even going to go there. Because if you say Drake ain't got no authenticity, yet you listen to Rick Ross, you being a hypocrite. Because Drake is more authentic than Rick Ross, hands down. Drake is fake. Rick Ross is the biggest fraud in rap. That's not even a speculation. He took another man's whole identity. He literally is Albert from CB4. Literally. It don't get no faker than Albert from CB4. That was the purpose of the movie. So like I said in my post, if Drake is Milli Vanilli, Rick Ross is Albert from CB4. At least Milli Vanilli, yeah, they had people singing their music for him and they was lip singing. Okay. But Milli Vanilli as a group, like if they could have took singing lessons, it was too late. But you know what I'm saying? If nobody would have known that they were faking and they took singing lessons and they, eventually started singing their own songs with their own, you know what I'm saying? No one will be the wiser, and they won Grammys as a group, as Milli Vanilli. MC Gusto don't exist. Albert is Chris Rock. That entity is completely fake. So Rick Ross was a sheriff. He was a corrections officer. You become a corrections officer through the sheriff's department. He was a sheriff. He was a deputy sheriff. He was a deputy. He's the total antithesis of what the real Rick Ross was. He was the total antithesis. The same way that Albert from CB4 was the total antithesis of the real Gusto in the movie. Albert was a square geek, a nerd, you know what I'm saying? Gusto was a real gangster, a killer. Rick Ross was a corrections officer. The real Rick Ross was a drug dealer. The corrections officer took the drug dealer's persona and even took him to court. The real guy. He took the real guy to court so that he couldn't even use his own name and profit off his own story. So the rapper Rick Ross is running around with a real man's life, rapping about a real man's story, and actually made it so where that person couldn't even profit off of his own life, likeness, and story, because this corrections officer took the story of an actual criminal and adopted it to himself. There's no one in the rap game more faker than Rick Ross. Period. I don't care how well he can rap, and I don't care how much you like his music. So if you're talking about Drake is not authentic because he's not street and he comes from the Disney Channel, he don't write his own rhymes, you better not be listening to no damn Rick Ross. You better not be. If you are, you're a hypocrite. Point blank. Right? So, I'm getting back to Rick Ross. So, push-ups drop, and he actually did. Was it push-ups? I think it was Push Ups where he talked about when he said the line, uh, body, something about bodying this nigga and Rick Ross reading the Miranda. I'm saying, like, he going at Rick Ross. So in a few of these songs, Drake is actually not just going at Kendrick, but he's going at Rick Ross, right? But let's just keep it on target. So 7-minute drill. Then we got Push Up. Push Up was a 4-minute song that responded to a 1-minute verse from Kendrick, right? Then Kendrick drops Euphoria. Euphoria is a 6-minute song responding to Drake's 4-minute song. Okay? Now, Drake already got one up because he dropped a 4-minute song responding to Kendrick's 1-minute verse. Okay? But Kendrick still kind of took an L because I don't care if J. Cole apologized. He spit venom in that track. Right? So, boom, he took that L to J. Cole, in my opinion. Even though J. Cole apologized, whatever, he still took the L. I had to hit you back before you. Okay, you apologized. You said cool, but I gotta hit you back. Sorry, first. You know what I'm saying? So, in my opinion, Euphoria. First of all, it starts off with a soft beat, which kind of threw me in the beginning because, like, you don't want to start a diss track off with a soft. You know, like when you hear the beat, sound like you should be looking at birds singing and stuff. It's not what you want to hear when you listen to a diss track. A disrespectful track. That's what diss means. Disrespect. You know what I'm saying? It's aggressive. It's a diss track. Right? So, Euphoria, it was cool. I personally don't really like the way Kendrick raps on the track. I don't like Kendrick when he's rapping aggressive. His voice is small. It sounds like it's cracking. He sounds like someone who is just coming into adolescence. Sound like his voice is cracking, like he's becoming a teenager. That's just my personal opinion. And even the bars, like Kendrick got bars, but some rappers are good at some things and not good at other things. You know what I'm saying? And some rappers are good at rapping intellectually, but not good at rapping aggressive. Some rappers are good at metaphors and rapping positive. Some rappers are not good at dissing somebody. Some rappers can't do gangster rap. Some rappers can't do, you know what I'm saying? So, the Euphoria track is not really a good diss track to me. He's saying some things, and then I don't like the whole angle, you know, that in that track where he's trying to, like, I'm turning the culture against you. I'm turning the people against you. I'm turning people against you. And that shouldn't be the case in a diss track. It should be, I'm a better lyricist than you. I am better at rapping than you are. Not you're a terrible person and no one likes you and I'm going to say things to make people not like you. That's not a diss track. A diss track, a good one from someone who can really rap, is about tearing that person down lyrically. I'm proving to you that I am better at this rap shit than you are. And usually that's done by addressing everything point for point that they said in the last track. He didn't really do that. In Euphoria, he didn't address point for point what Drake said in Push Ups. He addressed some of the stuff, but he didn't go point for point. He did a lot of, I hate the way you talk, and I hate the way you dress, and I hate the way you, and everybody don't like you, and you say nigga. So it was like, it was kind of weak to me as far as diss tracks go, right? So it wasn't hard at all as far as I'm concerned. Had some bars in it, but nothing really stand out. Drake had more bars in his joint that stood out to me than Kendrick. And that's crazy because going into this, I thought Kendrick was the better lyricist. So, Euphoria. Then Drake drops TaylorMade. TaylorMade is the one I like the least out of the whole series. I didn't like the AI Tupac thing. I didn't like that. Snoop on there. You know, the song was kind of Drake's verse was kind of ain't really hit that hard. It was alright. You know what I'm saying? I would say, you know, we break it down verse for verse. You know, Kendrick had a verse on Like That. Drake had a verse on TaylorMade. I say Kendrick's verse on Like That was harder than Drake's verse on TaylorMade. But remember, I said it on Like That. That whole song is not about Drake. TaylorMade, the whole song is about Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? So, which is kind of crazy. I'm not sure if Snoop being on the track is AI or not. I don't think it is. That'd be kind of crazy. Snoop is still alive and you AI in his voice as a feature. That's really kind of a new low. I haven't heard anybody say that's the truth. So I'm going to just say Snoop featured on a Drake track, which is crazy because Snoop is from LA and Kendrick is from LA. So Drake took a famous LA rapper and put him on a song to diss Kendrick, who is also from LA. To me, that goes against Kendrick. Now that goes into the respect thing. Obviously, you don't got that much respect where you from if dudes from LA are willing to team up with a Canada dude on a song about you. So honestly, the fact that Snoop is on the song, it takes a hit because of the Tupac AI thing, but that's just me personally. That was a shameless attempt. So that kind of but the whole song, they're going at Kendrick. Know what I mean? So regardless of good, bad, or indifferent, the whole song, which is like a, you know, I don't know, 6-minute song, something like that, is all about Kendrick. So that's coming from Drake camp. He put that together. So that's a point for Drake. Know what I mean? So then Kendrick dropped 616 in LA. Now 616 in LA is a 3 minute and 43 second song. He only starts talking about Drake after 1 minute and 41 seconds. So pretty much half of the song is not about Drake. He's just rapping about, you know, how dope he is, I guess. You know, and then he starts getting into Drake. Now, the last say 2 minutes of the song, he firing. And it's hard. The last 2 minutes of that song, of that 616 in LA is hard. The bars are hard, the beat is hard, and boom, he came with it. Right? But then Drake responds, first of all, after 616 in LA, Koval drops. Koval is a 6 minute and 38 second song all about Kendrick. And every bar goes hard. Now, allegedly, that song was written by Daylight. And the Drake voice was AI. Now that I listen to it again, I can hear it. It doesn't sound like Drake at all. You can hear the voice sounds like Drake, but his rhyme structure, that's not Drake. Okay, so I could believe that that's Daylight. But to me, that doesn't count against Drake. Because we all knew Drake already had ghostwriters. We knew that already. So it's basically somebody's from Drake's camp firing at Kendrick. Just so happens that it's 2024 and you can use the AI, so you use the AI and put it in Drake's voice. But erase Drake's voice from it, and it's Daylight crushing Kendrick. He's crushing him in the song. So let's just say Daylight is crushing Kendrick in the song. Point against Kendrick because Daylight is also from LA. So here it is. This dude from Canada, for whatever it is, he got enough influence or bread to get well-known dudes from your own city to diss you. And you didn't fire that Snoop. When Rick Ross jumped on Kendrick's bandwagon, since he did that, Drake has been going at Rick Ross in the same songs that he's been dissing Kendrick in. Kendrick did not diss Snoop, and in the response to Koval, he should have decimated Daylight, but he didn't. So we're not going to disqualify that just because it's Daylight. No. In the same way, the Outlaws was also going at Puffy enough. Get out the way, yo. Get out the way, yo. Biggie Smalls just got shot. Right? So, Koval dropped. Bar for bar, that shit is hard. Bar for bar, that shit is harder than anything Kendrick has dropped so far. Up to that point. People say, oh, well, that wasn't even Drake. Okay, so it wasn't Drake. All right, cool. It was Daylight. So now you got somebody else from Drake's camp who also happens to be from your city, Kendrick, who is smashing you in the track. And who is, again, when it comes to battle rap and diss tracks, the art of it is how well can you go point for point and respond to everything that person said. Because once you get put on the defense, and that was the brilliance behind, what song is it? I'm gonna get to that. No, it's not Fanny. It's, what is it? Grams. Which one is it? Tailor Made. No, not Tailor Made. What's the next one? Family Matters. When you hear defense, defense, defense. A lot of people didn't catch that. He got the defense going in the background. Defense, defense. Because he's on defense. And as a battle rapper, that's the most strategic place you could be. Because now you're just responding to everything they said. When we used to battle at my club, Dres the Beatnik say, first to touch, first to clutch, first to touch. You put the mic out and see who would, before you even battled at my club, who would be the first to grab the mic was the first game that was played before any rhymes was even spoken. Because the person who grabbed the mic first was the person that got that lost the advantage. If you can get them to grab the mic, if you're patient enough or whatever to let them grab the mic first, now you are on defense. So now you have the luxury of responding point for point with everything that they said. So Koval, he responded to everything point for point Kendrick said in Euphoria and 616 in LA. And I thought it was harder than anything that Kendrick had brought up to this point. But it was fraudulent because it was Daylight. All right, cool. Family Matters. He drops Family Matters. And Family Matters, this is Drake now. Family Matters is just as hard as Koval. And that's the one. Defense. 7 minutes and 37 seconds of him going in on Kendrick. Switch the beat up and everything. Going in on Kendrick. Right? This is all cornball, Disney Channel, Canadian Dry, Drake now. Keep this in mind. 7 minutes. So, Daylight jumped on Kendrick. Drake jumped on Kendrick. And we already talked about the fact that J. Cole jumped up and smacked it. Kendrick said something about J. Cole in that verse. J. Cole jumped out of the audience, stood up in front of everybody, and open hand smacked the shit out of him. And it was so hard that he was like, yo, you know what, man? I'm tripping, my bad. And Kendrick let it ride. I wouldn't have let it ride. Man, hell no, you ain't apologizing. You about to get this work, nigga. You gonna get up and hit me with this, take this 7 minute verse, and then we even. I got a 7. You hit me with a 7-minute verse. I got a 7-minute verse. Now we even. I haven't heard that. So as far as I'm concerned, he took that L. So he took an L from J. Cole. He took an L from Daylight because he didn't respond back to Daylight. So if you don't respond back to Daylight, if you respond to Drake after Daylight did a song in Drake's voice, then we counting that for Drake. Either way, however you want to look at that, it's an L for Kendrick. Okay? Because Koval dropped and then, oh, that was fake. That wasn't Drake. And then Drake said, watch this. This is me though. Bam. Family Matters. That shit was hard. Especially for Drake. That's the advantage that Drake has in this fight. Is that Drake is a cornball. Remember that. So anything that he dropped that's remotely hard is even harder than it's supposed to be because he ain't supposed to be the one doing it. You know what I'm saying? So Drake is coming harder than expected. Kendrick is coming softer than expected. This is just my opinion now. So, then Meet the Grams. Meet the Grams, although outside of the context that it is a battle and these are diss songs, is kind of a good concept for a song, except the fact that it's corny as a diss song. And I'm going to tell you why. When you make a diss record is a lyrical form of an altercation. That's what a diss record is. Battle rap and diss records is a lyrical form of a violent confrontation. You know what I'm saying? You are saying in words what you can't do for real. That's what make a good diss record good diss record. You know what I'm saying? So, what Kendrick did was, again, it was a good concept, but to me it landed flat because, you basically dear Drake's son, your father's a horrible person. Dear Drake's mom, your son is a horrible person. Dear Drake's dad, your son is a horrible person. Dear Drake, hey, you're a horrible person. You should get better. You should be better. You should be a better person. That's some sucker shit. It's like somebody punch you in the face in the schoolyard, and instead of you rumbling him back, you know what I'm saying? When he go to basketball practice, you go to his house and you knock on the door and you, hey, Miss Jimmy, can I, and then while you talking to her and you're basically dry snitching to his family. Did you know your son was on drugs? Did you know your son was a bully in school? Did you know that your son? That's corny. Like, wait, huh? Concept, I get it, but it landed flat because that's not a diss record. Again, lyrically doing what you would do physically. It's a confrontation. It's a fight. That what he just described in that verse was some nerd shit, like some, you know what I'm saying? Somebody who can't rumble. So they go and appeal to your mom. Please tell him stop whooping my ass. He's a terrible person. Please help me. Right? So instead of him, it's like, in all of these verses where Kendrick is going at Drake, he's trying to elicit the emotion of other people to turn on Drake. So instead of you just by yourself saying, I don't need nobody help, I don't need nobody to turn against him, I don't need other, I'm about to smash this dude. Lyrically, I'm going to smash him. You cleverly saying things to try to get people to turn against Drake, which I think is a corny approach. Me personally. So respond to Meet the Grams, which like I said, I thought it was 6 minute 32 song, 36 minute 32 second song. I thought it was weak. I did not. Every time I listen to the song, first of all, the song is boring. That's number one. The song is boring. The beat is boring. The song is boring. And it's just not interesting to me to listen to you go crying to his mom and go crying to his dad and go crying to his son, telling them to, stop your son from bullying me. That's a corny ass approach to a diss record. So that Meet the Grams, while everybody is thinking that's the best thing on track, it didn't land correct. I get what you were trying to do, but it's just really lack of understanding of what this diss record shit is about. So then, Meet the Grams, and then Not Like Us, which the lyrics go hard. I don't like Kendrick's voice in the track, that high-pitched voice, sounding like your voice is cracking and you're going through puberty is not appealing to me. Especially after all of Drake's short jokes. And it just highlights it even more. You know what I'm saying? Because Drake is doing the short joke shit. And you see what I'm saying? That line where he said, you put your hands on your baby mother, was it self-defense because she bigger than you? That shit is funny. That shit is funny. And then when you look at the picture, you see it in mind, you see how much taller she is than him. That shit is funny. And then when you see that, you get that in your mind, and he did a good job of painting this picture of him being this small dude. And then you hear him rap, and then he got this small voice that sounds like he's going through puberty. On this song, the beat should have been harder, and he should have got the game to help him on his beat. This should have been some hard-ass Compton, gang-banging, fucking crip walking, crease in the dickies. Know what I mean? 6'4" type shit. This should have been some hard Compton shit. This was a soft-ass Compton verse. Compton joint. I mean, I could tell he was, with the beat, he was going for the, like the crip walk vibe or whatever the case may be, but it's like, it's that new age type shit. He should have took it back. He should have got the game. Just like how got Snoop. He should have got the game. Throw a verse on there, you know what I'm saying? Now, why couldn't he get the game to get on some hard ass game, certified gangster type shit? You know what I'm saying? To really, you know what? Fuck this dude. I'm about to just do a drive-by on this nigga lyrically. Get the game on there. You know what I'm saying? Whoop-de-whoop. Maybe he don't have that kind of respect in his own city. That counts against him in this battle. All of those things count, right? So then there's BBL Drizzy, which pretty much is like a hook and an instrumental, which I think is, whoever came up with this, if they're in Kendrick's camp, I think you didn't do him no favors, because I think that shit is absolutely whack. Because you're making a song basically saying that you looking at that nigga ass. No Diddy. That has no, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. That's crazy in a rap battle. No Diddy. Right? That should have been BBL. That shit should have been called BBL Drizzy, No Diddy. You know what I'm saying? However you people want to explain that shit away, it doesn't matter. A BBL is a Brazilian butt lift. Butt is in the name. So if you're calling him BBL Drizzy, that means and this is a dude singing or whatever the case, you are looking at his ass, paying attention to his ass, making a song about his ass. That shit is whack. Now, I seen somebody in the comments say it would have been even better if Kendrick would have put a verse on it. That would have made it even worse. But the fact that that's counted into Kendrick's arsenal towards Drake kind of brings him down, because Drake, the hard 6 is hard as fuck. 5:26, 5 minutes 26 is hard as fuck. So, in conclusion, even if you count the amount of time spent dissing each other, the amount of bars spent dissing each other, Drake has fired more shots than Kendrick. And then he is influenced enough to have other people to contribute to firing shots at Kendrick. So from Drake, more bars has been shot at Kendrick that honestly are bar for bar. It's like Kendrick is shooting with a 9mm and he's only fired 30 shots. And Drake has fired 60 shots, you know what I'm saying, with a 2-2-3. Because all he's hitting it, and then, he didn't had other people shooting at him as well. You know what I'm saying? So with the combination of not just Drake, but his non-response to J. Cole, I have Kendrick losing this battle. That's my breakdown. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Let's talk about it. Peace and love.